Hello, people of the beautiful internet. I'm Steven from ETB. I'm here to bring all the information we have so far of the Battle Tome Disciples of Tzeentch. We'll see what we got. So we know that a new Battle Tome and models are coming out. This will be this Friday, or the pre-order will be this Friday. We will be able to show some of the Battle Tome or most of it on Saturday. We'll have Connor, who is a renowned Disciple of Tzeentch player, probably top of the world, I would say. Here are the new models that are included in this update for Tzeentch. We've got the Argent Shards, which look spectacular. That model is also very huge. We have the Magister on Dis of Tzeentch. You can see over there. I've included multiple, I don't know why. We've got the Fate Master, who will be also a very good wizard. And it'll be quite the update for them. I know they have the Zangor on this. I'm not sure if they have an actual wizard, so probably a very useful update for them. Here's the size comparison of the new faction terrain they get, so you can see it's very large. I think it's a bit thinner than that. It's not as fat, but it looks beyond sweet. We have two new sets coming out. Basically, like a spearhead and a spearhead and a battle force. These are the models included. There is a price released, and they're pretty standard. Whatever GW has, I forget it now. A new Regiment of Renown, which will be super sick because it's a double wizard, I believe, a Gaunt Summer and a Magister. I assume both of those are wizards. That could be pretty useful in a lot of factions. Mainly, I think Khorne. It might help a lot. You could also use Nurgle, actually, and honestly, any of the Chaos Gods. It really depends entirely on what the rules will be for this and the point cost. But getting two wizards, I feel like it's gonna be pretty useful. I'll see an update there. This is just an update, so yeah, it'll come out on the 8th. And there'll be also a City of Sigmar's update after this one, so gonna be pretty sweet. I will definitely be doing an update on this. So now we have the new update of the rules that were just released today. We'll start with the first one, all part of the plan. So this is going to be a revamp of the fate points, I guess. You gain a fate point each time you do one of these rules, and you start with nothing. So I guess there's going to be no like deployment. Start with a fate point, like it was before. You get a fate point every time you lose a priority roll, which is very cool, I think. It could really change the tides. Maybe even do a reroll to lose a fate point, like lose the roll, because maybe you don't want the choice, which is kind of funny, I think. Every time a spell cast by a friendly Disciple of Tzeentch unit is unbound, which is also very cool. I don't know if it's gonna come up too often. Maybe you kind of want to fail some spells, because a lot of the Tzeentch models seem to have huge bonuses to casting. I don't know what the faction terrain, like I could imagine giving +1 or +2, which is crazy. The also get one when you miscast, which is super helpful. Psych, that's not really going to come up too much, actually, I think. Probably come up a few times. If you have any Tzeentch player, I feel like they'll say it comes up every game or twice a game. Your opponent gains control of an objective that you control. That's going to be super huge on high objective maps, which is kind of crazy. And currently these spells have some crazy effects that you'll see. Or if a friendly Argent Shard is destroyed, so I guess you get a max of 2. Okay, and then we got the first rule that you can use the fate points on. So effect before allocating damage points to a friendly Disciple of Tzeentch unit, you can spend any number of fate points for each fate point spend. Remove 1 damage in that unit's damage pool. This could be pretty crazy because say your DM Prince takes 10 wounds and you spend 2 fate points. I forget how many wounds they are. Either way, it would save him. So you can end up spending all your fate points just protecting a Demon Prince, and that'll be totally worth it. The next one, reaction, you declare a charge ability for a Disciple of Tzeentch unit. You may spend any number of fate points for each fate point spent. Add 1 to the charge roll. This could really make you have some crazy charge rolls and really save a game. So this ability seems quite crazy, especially if you deep strike unit. It's like almost a guaranteed charge. I assume you have to do it beforehand, but I don't know exactly. The next we have 2 abilities that are like their faction abilities. So pick 3 friendly non-monster Tzeentch units on the battlefield, remove the targets from the battlefield, and set them up in reserve masked by illusion. Friendly units that are masked by illusion are destroyed at the end of the battle, at the end of the 5th battle. So one of the few times you can stay in reserve past turn 4. Will that come up? Maybe, actually, because the last turn you can guarantee some tactic or something by having a garbage unit in reserve. And then you can also do other abilities, it seems, with units that are masked by illusion. This other one's pretty crazy, and the one after this one is even more insane. Pick a friendly non-Disciples of Tzeentch unit that was not set up using the ability in the previous turn to be the target, then pick a friendly unit that is masked by illusion to be the substitute. Effect: set the substitute wholly within 6 inches of the target and not in combat, then remove the target from the battlefield and set it up in reserve masked by illusion. So you can have some crazy abilities, and this is any hero phase, so you can do it during your opponent's turn. You could literally replace an important unit with a garbage unit, or the opposite to scare your opponent, and like almost guarantees charge because you redeploy them with wholly within, set up a unit wholly within 6. It has to be wholly within 6, but you still get that 6-inch extra move basically at the start of the turn, and this is during your hero phase. I guess they can't move as well because they were set up. So there is some negatives, but it could still be pretty crazy, and setting up wholly within 6 is still pretty far. Then the last ability, this is on the Fate Master, who has an insane ability. Spend 2 fate points, then pick a visible friendly Arcanite unit wholly within 12 of this target to be the effect. For the rest of the turn, the first time an enemy unit ends a charge move within 3 of the target, you can remove the target from the battlefield and set it up in reserve masked by illusion. So you could literally screen an opponent out with a unit and they have to stay 3 away still, etc. And then as soon as they try to charge it, they go into reserve. And if they don't charge it, well, you're set up for the next turn. Like it's this ability seems insane. Either way, that's all that's been released. So I hope you guys enjoy and thank you for listening.